the best part of it is when you're looking through that lens and you're shooting and seeing what he does. Wow.
Hey guys, I'm Alice Peter, and today on the occasion of World Photography Day, I have someone who is super talented, super fun, Sheldon Santos. I'm going to take you a little back in time, okay? And you have mentioned about this moment in a number of other interviews also, where you've spoken about at the age of 18 when you realized that your love for photography is probably there somewhere and it's going to grow from here on. Okay?
Yeah.
And you've spoken about that moment as one where you realize that memories can be converted into something which is tangible and visible and can be stored, right? When I read that moment, honestly, I looked at it as the beginning of a love story.
Right.
Where you never just fell out of love. It's something you're still just continuing a relationship with.
It started off when I was 18 and I was in college, and to be honest, which my mom won't like me saying this, but I had failed my 13th. Okay. And I had nothing to do but give those 2 KTs that you are supposed to give in the subjects you failed. And then the rest of the year you sit at home and do nothing. So that time there's another person who's kind of a life mentor to me and I really respect him. And he said, why don't you use this time instead of sitting at home and doing nothing and go and explore a career option or like any kind of learn something new. Don't waste your time by sitting, you just end up doing something, and I'm so glad he took that. So then I said, okay, I'd recently just found an interest in photography and I was given the camera just maybe a week before, and I was like, oh, I have this interest in photography, and I had just discovered the camera, newly discovered it, and I really love doing it. So he's like, oh, so why don't you go and explore the field of photography? Another person's advice of who to go and start assisting with, Rohan, Shrestha at the time, was suggested to me, and I was like, oh, I mean, sounds like a big name, because the first person I was told that you should Google him and see who he is. And the first time I ever Googled someone I'm going to meet, and he was right there, and being one of the biggies in the country and leading and growing, and his work was all over and talking at the time, and I was like, oh God, I have to go and meet this person, and how is it going to be? But then I don't know, I just dived into it. I was really nervous on my first day. For me, going there was like discovering like a new whole world, and I was like, I felt like that, so I instantly knew that, oh wow, this is the place that I want to be and do this for the rest of my life.
Do you remember your first photo shoot with Rohan, and was it also your first day on the job, as they say?
Yeah, very funny story I'll tell you. The first shoot with Rohan was, I remember it was in Jan 2013.
Okay.
And I'd gone there, and I just said that he called me at a certain time. I think it was 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, 11 or so. I reached there at quarter to 11. And that's my habit. I love being on time and I hate being late. So I always like to be 10 minutes earlier so that I'm like stressless when it comes to working. I was early, and then I didn't know that assistants get a certain time to come in and set up, and then the photographer gets another time or whatever, how it worked. So I actually waited for 2 hours for Rohan outside the studio, and I was like, and he wasn't answering my calls because I messaged him and said, listen, I've reached, what to do? And he didn't reply and wasn't answering. I'm like, oh shit, is this like, have I come to the wrong place? What am I doing? First day at a pro photographer studio outside. I said, okay, screw this, I'm going to leave this, and I'm going back home, like 2 hours now. What? Funny story, I almost got up to leave, and Rohan's car comes in from front. And Rohan got up and he's like, hi, and he thought I got up to say hi to him. I'm like, hi, I'm Sheldon. He's like, I know, come. I was like, okay, I didn't ever tell him this. Now that if he ever sees this, he'll know that I was about to leave, and I'm like, but that, that little moment I kind of changed my life, because seriously. I'm sure if I left and went, you would never call me back.
Things would have been so much different, but what timing, seriously.
Yeah, that was super, like, that's why I keep saying that everything just falls into place for me. And I'm glad I met him and he didn't realize I was leaving. And then I went in, and then the story began.
What came your way that kind of turned it all for you?
There wasn't any significant shoot or anything like that, but yeah, there was like probably one shoot that came up with Arjun Kapoor at the time.
Okay.
And, his manager called me and asked me, are you free to do this? It's kind of an ad shoot. And I was like, oh, an ad shoot? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm free, man. So I said, yes. I don't know, I just saw I believe in manifestation, and I just said to the universe that, oh, I'm ready to work. Like, it should just come. I don't care of what money is coming. I just need work. I just need to keep doing. So when that shoot came up, I invented it. I gave it all I could. I made a reel out of it. I made so much of content. I'm going to use this in a way to just generate work, just generate momentum, and invite more people to come and work with me and ask me to work with them. And then it stuck. Yeah. Then one shoot at a time. When I saw the light at the end of the tunnel was when movie promotion started happening again. And that is where you realize that, oh, okay, there is some hope.
Yeah.
Because as a celebrity photographer in this industry, and the way our industry works, you need celebrities to come out of their houses to do work for them to get us to work with them. So yeah, I think movie promotions.
But obviously, I think everyone kind of missed being on location, on set, instead of being on digital so much.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. We're bored at home, yeah.
Of course.
You had to it was like when you go to a set, it's like back then in school when you have a PT period and you're going to play it, it felt like that.
Can you say that that's been kind of like the turning point where your perspective, and everyone, I think a lot of people's perspective towards their jobs also must have changed, and what they do must have changed.
Yeah, everyone appreciates their job so much. Every call you get, you want to, lock with the client without overcoating, undercoating, whatever goes beyond that. You're so grateful to keep getting the call. You never know when's the last call you'll get, and another pandemic can hit. So just be happy and explore as much as you can is what I'm sure everyone feels the same way.
Of course. You work so much with Ranveer Singh.
Yeah.
How has the experience been?
Unbelievable, yeah. This he's taught me so much in his craft and his energy, and whatever people talk of his acting and all is to a level which everyone knows it's miles away from anyone. Yeah. But the things that I pick up from him every day is that he's so detailed in doing what he does. He showed me that if you are doing something, you do it with more than 100% focus and interest and passionately and with all the energy you can give. Always bring your A game. Don't give reason for people to slack. There is so much more you can do, and that is more fun, and that is what brings the quality. So something if I have to take back one thing I've learned from him is the amount of passion and interest and the little things that he'll do. He'll plan his whole day minute by minute. I've seen those things happen. Every move beforehand, it's so beautiful to see how, why he's at that level. I don't know, because it's this detailed planning and exceptional passion and interest that he does. I've really learned, because of those values I've learned, I've picked up on, I never take anything for I'm not getting paid enough, so I won't give my interest. No. Everything has to be done with proper interest and proper eye for details and attention.
Precision.
Yeah, and that's great about the guy. I really love his work ethic. And because of his energy and who he is and what he brings to the table, you have no option but to bring your A
best,
game and your everything. And then the best part of it is when you're looking through that lens and you're shooting and seeing what he does. It's a treat. Because he's so talented, and he'll just come and do his thing, and it's wow. You just don't want it to end, but you unfortunately get only 5-10 minutes to shoot him when we're doing those looks. But it's beautiful the way he works.
Do you have any memorable moments from the recent photo shoots you've done with him, or any shoots you've done with him?
My first shoot with him, when I was back then, suddenly I get a call from his manager, and we had traveled as an assistant with Rohan. I traveled with them to Switzerland for the Swiss tours and things. So I was a little familiar with him and his team, and he was fond of me and whatever. So maybe he thought he'll give me a chance, and that time I get a call from his manager saying you have to come and shoot Ranveer, and he wants to start this thing where he's shooting his looks. And I'm I'll be flattered. And back then I had not much recent celebrity experience shooting myself. I've seen tons of it with Rohan, but so the first time I had gone, I was shit, I'm shooting Ranveer Singh now. How do I do this? How do I not do it, not make a mistake, and how do I do it really well? and I went. He called. Whatever time they called me at, I went 2 hours early. Like, I'll do my test shots. I'll do so much more. Like, I don't know what more to do, and I didn't even. Back then, you didn't even know what field I'm entering into the styling aspect of photography. I just went in an opportunity to shoot Ranveer Singh for one day. And and then I was set up all ready for him, and I see him coming to me saying hi, and then he stood in front of me for me to shoot him. But that time I was like, oh.
That moment.
Yeah. That was a little turning point also, I'd say.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was given a chance, and then after that day he said yes, let's get him for the whole project, because I kind of went there for a one-day trial to see if he likes the work ethic and whatever, and it worked out. So,
has there been this one word of advice that was given to you, or a learning that you've taken that's become like a mantra for you?
One thing that I live by is that if you put your time and effort and passion into anything you're doing, and you learn it and don't just go and wing it, I believe there's enough work for everyone out there who puts in their time and dedication to it, and you don't have to bother about, oh, will I get work or will I not, or what. It'll just come to you for sure. I don't even realize how much work has come. I didn't even realize how much work came to me and how much effort I had put in. I just kept doing, and so my advice that I take back from all my experiences is only this: that you just keep doing, keep at it, cherish every day, put the highest amount of interest you can in the smallest shoots and the biggest, obviously, and it'll just come to you.
It's always about being as passionate as you can for that one thing that is your calling.
Always, right? Lots of assistants also back then think that, oh, I'll assist for 1 year and then I'll be a photographer. Oh, I'll assist for whatever. I've done my 1 year, so now work should come. It doesn't work like that. It's on how much effort you put in that 1 year for you to keep getting work after that. It took me 8 years. Yeah, not that I didn't put effort, but it took me that long.
Of course.
And I'm at a point where I'm really happy with the work I'm getting. I'm still trying to manage what to do with so much of work. How do I
bring everything together?
Bring everything together and systematically run the business.